All right, last day. Here we go. Going for a Hail Mary. So I know that sardines a popular forage out here for the tuna. So we got this nice 160 gram. So almost double the weight of the previous jig. Let's try this one out. Ship's boarding right now, so we're gonna see if we can make a quick little something come together here. Just for a moment. 2 hours of our trip, an hour before our boat picked us up, this local gentleman started yelling for help from down the dock. Oh. Mind you, it was only us and him down here, so he had no choice but to try and ask us for help. Yeah! Hold this. Reel us in. I run down to see what the commotion's about. Oh, he's right here. Thank you. Yep. Thinking it's just going to be a small conpachi or a yellowtail. I look in the water and realize it is a full-blown yellowfin tuna. Oh, tuna! Hi. Oh, let him run. Once I realize it's a pretty sizable fish, over 50 pounds, I begin to clear the runway, so to speak, here. Try to open everything up so he can have the whole length of the dock to fight, especially in the corner. As back home, we tend to try and fight our larger fish on the corner of the boat. It allows you more angles on the fish, as I kind of try to convince him to do here. Walk him down to the corner, but follow his fish for sure. Come to the corner. Pretty interesting, this tool I'm using here. If you haven't heard of a gaff, it's essentially a long pole, usually pretty strong, with a big sharp hook on the end of it, meant to stab a fish, hook it, and pull it up onto a boat or the shore. Now in this case, it's a telescoping gaff, a telescoping breakaway gaff at that. So the way it's supposed to be used is you reach down, you guide this gaff hook on a rope or a line, you snag the fish, it pops off by like a rubber band or some kind of small bungee. There's that fish, you can see it right there. And then you have that line connected directly to the fish, in this case a tuna, and then you can either tie it on a cleat or some kind of rounded support, or you can just hold it by hand, although it's probably better to tie it off. So that's how it's supposed to work, but you'll see later in the video that's not exactly how it went. Oh, come to the corner, come. So here I am thinking that we're gonna land this fish right here. Little did I know it was just the beginning of the fight. Come to the corner. There you go. Gaff, wait. First fight. Sugoi. Now he's in a pretty optimal position to fight this fish. I got him right on the corner of the dock. This guy, he came prepared with the right gear, and obviously he was ready enough to hook a fish, but fishing solo is a little sketchy when you're out in this open dock all by yourself with potentially high seas. Definitely strong ripping currents. So it was lucky for him we were here to help him out. His way. And I'll help him land his. Sugoi. Good size. It's not too big. You're good. He definitely manages to get tired at this point, but he's also a little worn out. You can see in the bottom right corner, that's that third person camera. You'll notice it'll eventually turn off from this angle, but that third person camera captured what it could. So here he is, he's full bendo. You gotta wind down to him. Height.
巻いてもらっていいですか？リール巻いてもらっていいですか？
What?
リール巻いてもらっていいですか？
What does he say? Wind?
At this point, I realized he's asking me to wind his reel for him, which was pretty funny. But also, you know, he's getting creative. He's getting worn out. It's a big fish, lighter gear.
You need to drop. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, down.
So we start working as a team.
You're good.
I'm trying to convince him to pump while I wind. It just didn't end up working out. So we just walked him down the dock at this point.
Wind. Wind. Much. Hi. You're good. Breathe. Wind. Good. Okay. So at this point, we're on the side of this dock that's facing the land. So this fish is now in like 10, 20 feet of water. It's just above a bunch of reef, and then the seawall is right under us.
I hold. You go there. Hi.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
So he's making his way, following his fish. I hand him his rod.
You need to reel. You need to reel. You. One. Reel.
Now he's fighting this fish. We have deep color. I'm telling him to kill this thing before it wakes back up. Because if you give these fish too much time, they'll revive and they'll start fighting all over again.
Reel.
Here we are with that
You good.
teamwork, pump and wine combo.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gaff.
So this is when we start to get lighter color, more shallow color. So I run over to grab the gaff, thinking that this would be the end of it.
Segoy. Okay.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, this guy's fighting a 50, 60 plus pound fish from shore, from this pier here, that doesn't jet too far out into the ocean, just allows you enough distance out into the water to fish that main drop off. And there I am securing the breakaway gaff to that pole, knowing that if I hook that fish, it'd be much better to have it tied off to something secure rather than holding it in my hands.
Come on. Wine. Wine. We need to kill the fish. Wine.
You can see that shimmering turquoise color. That's the fish, the tuna there.
Look at this, so awesome. Segoy. Reel.
Have the gaff ready to go.
Down.
Telling him to whine, pump that fish up. The tuna starts to pinwheel at this point, so it's when that tuna makes those big circles right under the water surface. It's kind of the last thing it can really do before it gets gaffed and brought up, so it starts to pinwheel. You may have heard that term before. Now you'll notice one of the main differences here with pinwheeling as opposed to on a boat is normally if you've caught a tuna from a boat, they'll pinwheel under the boat and outside of the boat, under, then out. In this case, it is a solid seawall. There's no legs of this pier, there's no pylons, it's just solid seawall. You'll notice this fish starts to take absolutely coordinated head dives towards that seawall, trying to rub or break this line out of its mouth. So it's absolutely phenomenal to see that behavior. So wild. It'll become more apparent as it becomes shallower.
That way. Change. Trade?
At this point, he's saying trade. So he can't handle it anymore. He's getting lactic. He's getting burnt out. So suddenly it's my turn to fight this fish, which was an absolute pleasure. I was happy to help him out with that. So fun. So we're keeping consistent pressure on this fish, and honestly much more of a bend than he had in the rod. Got to keep that pressure applied or those hooks will back themselves out, especially after a long fight. As those hooks start to wear in the fish's mouth, they start to gouge out a larger hole, making that barb rendering it a little useless, and it can just easily back that hook out. So
It's okay.
in a long fight, especially with lighter line, keeping consistent pressure on a fish is tremendously important. So thank goodness for Isabella. She actually came in super clutch with her iPhone, or my iPhone, starts filming from the third person angle, provides an absolutely phenomenal angle for the remainder of this fight.
No line. Hi. Come here. Oh.
So there we go. Now we have the fish out of water. It's a good opportunity to gaff it, but because they weren't ready with the gaff, fish goes to run again.
Now gaff.
Not only do I have to fight the remaining energy in this fish, but I have to prevent it from rubbing against that seawall. Because all it would take is one touch on a stray barnacle or piece of coral head, and it would absolutely be an instant, and that line would break. That fish saw that gaff, did not like that.
No line, watch the line. Hi.
You can see as it pinwheels towards the wall, it dives down. It seems like it's trying to coordinate that line or that lure, trying to rub it on the seawall there. Similar behavior to when a fish has a parasite on the outside of its body and it rubs on rocks. This fish knows that its best bet is rubbing that line or that hook or that lure on the seawall.
Okay.
So you can see it's got plenty of energy. We took a little long to kill this fish, so it had time to get revived, and now it's starting to get a second wind. As you can see, it's really, really vigorously kicking in those pinwheels in the final stretch of this fight.
Sugoi. Oh, 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 oh. Wait, 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 wait.
So he started to get a little jumpy with the gaff, a little trigger happy, and he ended up bumping my line once or twice, and that can also be detrimental for fighting a fish, a big fish like this with a taut line. I mean, one prick on that barb or point of the gaff, and it's game over.
Hey, buddy. 大丈夫です。Okay, ready?
So here I am fighting to pull that fish's head out of the water, so that way it's in gaff's reach. But you'll notice, even with that 20-foot telescoping gaff, you really have to have the fish at the very surface to be able to gaff it. A very, very tall kind of pier structure we're on.
No, 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 no. いいね、いいね。Okay, はい。
So the fish is getting tense. The guys on gaff duty are getting a little tense. Things are getting sketchy here as that fish starts to hit that second wind. Everybody knows it's in the final leg of the fight. So the fish is fighting for its life. I'm fighting for this guy's fish. We have, by the way, a dozen people on standby waiting for the ferry, watching this whole thing go down. So not only do we have 3 of us, and I'm trying not to lose this guy's fish, but we have a dozen-person audience bearing witness to this phenomenal fight. So the pressure's on, to say the least.
まだ下入っちゃう、まだ無理。まだ下入る。まだ下入る。
はい、はい、はい。No, no.
Every time that tuna sees that gaff, it kicks like an absolute mother, and it is the scariest thing, having this fish just head dive into the wall trying to break the line. It's one thing when it's your fish, but when it's somebody else's fish, it's really scary. But just keep breathing, use my body weight, use the leverage of the rod. It's a long rod. There's no rails, by the way, on this pier structure, so if I lean too far forward, that's it, game over. I fall into the water, that fish is going. It can become a seriously dangerous and potentially deadly outcome, so we want to absolutely make sure we're being as safe as we can, leaning back, not falling over.
Oh. Oh. Hi, hi. Oh. Hi, hi. Hi. Oh, come on.
You can see I get fed up with the rod at a certain point. It's a long rod. I mean, it's an 8.5 foot rod. So at a certain point, I just end up pointing the rod tip at the fish and straight pulling it, just because it's so exhausting to try and lift up and gain leverage on a long rod like this. So if you see me pointing straight at the fish, just know I'm keeping tension via the reel as opposed to the rod. So still tight line, even with a low rod tip.
Up, 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 up. No, 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 no. Hook. Need to fix the hook.
Oh yeah, so at this point we had a little bit of a gaff malfunction. When he bumped the fish, the gaff became a little loose, still fixated but loose, which was no good. So the gentleman manning the gaff, one of the bystanders at this point, local fisherman, re-rigged the gaff to where it's the gaff hook is tied directly to the tip of the gaff pole, which is not how this is meant to be used. But you gotta do what you gotta do at a certain point, so
Easy,
you'll see why that isn't ideal to
okay.
tie that gaff hook directly to the gaff.
Hi.
Boom. So there we go. Perfect belly shot on the tuna. Those tuna, you want to gaff them kind of in the ventral area, the lower unit, just to get them flipped over so they don't absolutely kick off and rip that gaff right out of your hand. So boom, we're taut on the gaff. I open the bail, and you can see that gaff is just blowing into a million pieces. It's not meant to pull a fish direct on that pole.
Soon. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. That was awesome.
Where are you from?
United States, California.
But just an absolutely phenomenal fight. So freaking fun, and I'm so glad I got to partake.
Yozuri, green, crystal popper. Oh. Wow.
まだ。いよいよ。ぐるぐるぐるぐる。
Popper? Hi. Okay.
Too far.
Too far. Whew. Look at that gaff, it's just in pieces.
Now, by no means do I want to claim this as my own fish, but again, I am just enthralled to be able to document this whole thing.
That was his fish. I helped. I'm glad you saw.
Shout out to Isabella, made this video something amazing.
マグロ水、ツナ水。
Like, hi. Video. Ready? All right, so you just witnessed name?
谷口弘明。
Hiroaki?
谷口弘明。
Taekochi Huriaki, probably butchered that. Just hooked on the popper this immense tuna. I just helped him land it, but that was all him. Incredible fish.
Thank you, USA. I love America.
Yeah! Japan, America!
USA.
What awesome fish. Good job.
And I'm telling you, we landed that fish within minutes of this boat landing.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was just so blessed to have the opportunity to help fight this fish, and it was just so fun.
All right, so we literally I just capped my rod tube, and we're heading out now. So goodbye to this beautiful remote Japanese island. We're gonna hop on this boat. We're gonna say our farewell. We got to do hot springs, we got to do fishing, we got to catch crazy fish, we got to see one of the tuna landing. Absolutely amazing trip. So if you did enjoy this video, like, subscribe if you want to see more. And to those that are supporting the channel, much love, much thanks. Bye-bye.